Saturday morning live for e-commerce sellers. We bring this to you every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time, or in the case of me, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. And in the case of our guest today, Master Coach Danita Zanré, at what time?
It is 4 p.m.
It's still Saturday, right?
It's still
Yeah.
Saturday, 4 p.m. Yep.
Okay. So we're just getting turned on with the electrons here, make sure everything is working properly. I'm looking for a sound check from our team. And do you see us and hear us? And then let me check the posts and see if people are rolling in, if I can see your posts or not. Danita, do you see our broadcast at this point?
I'm going to go look and see if I can see it happening here.
Okay, we're broadcasting to our e-commerce business school Facebook page. And it says I sound good. How about you, Danita?
I don't know. Do I
You don't
sound
know
good?
yet. Yeah, Danita is good. Great. Okay. We're also broadcasting to our YouTube page as well as our Cash Flow Systems Mastermind group. Okay, very good. So, Danita, what's it like there in Italy?
It's cool right now where we live. You know, where it's still winter time. We've been looking for buds on the trees, and they're not there yet. So, because we live up in the mountains, so it's still definitely not quite spring where we are now. If you get further south, like towards Rome and stuff, it's warming up there quite a bit. But up here where we live, it's still kind of cool.
Well, we're in the 40s at this moment at 7 a.m. Just yesterday, this is wild. California is dry. Now, we had rain a couple days ago. It's the first time we've had rain. And yesterday, we had a wildfire in my town of Redding. And they got it under control pretty quickly, but it was right in town or very close to town, a mile away from my office. So we had big billowing clouds, and I drove down to my office thinking, should I be pulling stuff, valuable stuff? Pretty wild.
Wow.
Okay, so one more moment and we will get started. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, the temperature here is 6 degrees Celsius, so that's probably about 42-ish Fahrenheit, so it's about the same.
Okay, I'm still looking for the comments so I can see them. So everybody bear with me just one more moment. Hard to talk and do like 3 other things at the same time. Some people are masters at multitasking, but that's not me.
That's
right. Okay, I can see everybody here. That's great. Let me just shout out some names and then we'll get going. So Prince Phillips Fash is with us this morning. Welcome. And Shahanaj and Donald, William, Christy, Wayne. Let's see who else is here. William Travis, Anna.
William Travis.
All right. Very good. So welcome everybody. This is Saturday Morning Live for e-commerce sellers. I'm Brian Cummings. I'm the Director of Training with eCommerce Business School. Our guest today is Master Coach Danita Zanré, and she's calling in from Italy. So say hello again, Danita.
Hi, everybody. It's afternoon here. I know it's early for you guys, but it's afternoon here for me.
Okay, so Saturday afternoon live from Italy.
Saturday afternoon live from Italy. There you go.
All right. If I can get this, let's go. There we go. So welcome. If you're new here today, if this is your first time on Saturday Morning Live, or if you recently joined our program at eCommerce Business School, I want to give you a warm welcome. I hope you'll raise your hand in the chat and say, hey, I'm new here. And hopefully you're glad to be here. People can welcome you. So thanks very much for tuning in. I think you're going to really enjoy this show because it's going to help with your sourcing abilities. All right. So every week we talk about the 3 pillars of e-commerce success. This is what we structure our training on. And the very first part of building an e-commerce business is to generate cash flow. So I know those of you that are new with us, this is what you're focused on in your business. You've got to have cash flow to keep your business moving. once you've got that source of cash flow, you'll begin to focus on the systems in your business. And this helps you free up your time, scale up your business. It creates automation. It removes you from the place of working totally in your business, and you get to work on your business instead. And that brings you to the place, the third pillar, of building assets in your business. This is where your business gains more value, more intrinsic value than just the sales of your products. And this allows you to sell it to an investor, pass it on to your family. These are the three pillars of e-commerce success. I'd like you to share our Saturday Morning Live. If you're finding value here, I know that others will too. There's a share button at the very bottom of the bottom corner of the Facebook post. If you're on mobile, it's on one side. If you're on PC, I think it's on the other side. But please click that share button. Let others know about the value that we provide here every Saturday morning. And the weekly Feed the Beast Challenge. We do this every week to encourage our members to send products to Amazon FBA. That's what's known as Feed the Beast. Or even if you're selling merchant fulfilled, it's still listing products, because the hungry beast are all those Amazon customers. I know at Christmas time, more than half of e-commerce sales go through Amazon, a very hungry place. We want to feed that beast with products. And all you need to do is give us a screenshot of your shipment going into Amazon or your sales, anything like that, and compete for the prizes, some EBS swag, EBS gifts. Let's see who this week's winner is. It's Terafat Worku. Congratulations. Looks like she's just getting started in her business right there. You could see where she had 27 units sold this week. Congratulations, you're growing your business. So give Terafat a warm welcome. And Terafat, you can simply connect with us, and we'll make sure you get the gift of your choice. All right, so let's move on to our training today. Oop, I've got to start our recording. There we go. Let's move on to our training today, which is, come on, there we go. Profit Expansion Sourcing Strategies with Local Retail Arbitrage, from EBS Master Coach and Trainer, Danita Zanré. Danita's going to be talking about how to augment that online arbitrage sourcing with these other techniques. Let me just hand it over to you, Danita. Oh, I don't hear you now. You're muted.
I'm muted. I'm unmuted now. So, I thought I'd just talk a little bit about why we do local retail arbitrage as well as online sourcing. Since the topic today is how to augment your sourcing, I'm assuming that most people on the call understand the basic idea behind local retail arbitrage. But if not, make sure that you come and join our community and see some of our free training on how that all works, because I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about how, why it works, but I'm going to talk a little bit about how to make it a separate income stream for you, even if you're doing online arbitrage all the time. When Brian was talking about the cash flow and then the automating your business and building assets, the cash flow is kind of what keeps everything churning, especially in the beginning. You need to be bringing in money to be able to increase your inventory. You need to be able to bring money to be able to, maybe hire that first prep center or a VA or whatever. So we're always looking at trying to build cash flow quickly and to increase our overall sales. But even as a seasoned seller like me, I really enjoy going into stores and shopping, because I will always find bargains in store that can never be found online. There will always be a great bargain in store that I can't find online. Brian, you got your hand up.
Yeah. Teacher. Danita, there's probably a few people watching this that may not know about you and your background. And, local retail arbitrage is kind of going back to your roots. You want to talk a little bit about how you came to the e-commerce business school and what you did and how you started your Amazon business?
Sure. I've been looking for a way to, make some money, get my husband out of his day job primarily. And had been following Anne for a couple of years, and Steve, before we started looking at this e-commerce world. And since I had been following Anne, and she came up with this, this new idea was being floated, I thought, if she's looking at it, I need to look at it too. And so we got started very quickly selling online. And it was indeed a situation where back in 2014, when I started doing this retail arbitrage on Amazon, maybe some people were doing some online arbitrage, but primarily when you talked about arbitrage, people were going into stores, finding products in your local stores that you could flip onto Amazon for a profit. So I got started. That was really how I began my Amazon journey, was going out to stores, finding products, and then turning them around on Amazon for a profit. I think when was it, about 2016, Brian, that you developed the online shopping profit system?
About there, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So at that point, then it was like, oh, we can do this online too. We can make some money doing this online too, which has really been a blessing for me. I mean, I would not have a very strong US Amazon business if I didn't have online arbitrage. So online arbitrage is very important for my business. But anytime I can, and for me, it's less often than Brian, for example. Anytime I can, I go to stores in the US looking for great bargains. And that's really kind of how I got started, was going out into the stores and finding things to source to send to Amazon.
You mentioned the online shopping profit system. We created that course. Wasn't our first arbitrage course. That's Shop Your Way to Wealth, and Danita Zanré is the author of Shop Your Way to Wealth. The online shopping profit system was developed to help people start to automate their businesses more fully. Mm-hmm. So there's a robust, hire a virtual assistant who will do your product research, find those products for you. It's a very robust part of that training of the online shopping profit system. So we wanted to help people transition from doing everything themselves, going to those local stores, to having that support of somebody else finding those products for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where the majority of my business lies now, is in online shopping, either in arbitrage or some wholesale or whatever. But I'm not going into stores that often anymore. I went this Christmas. I was in the U.S. and my mom and my mom is also an Amazon seller, so we love going shopping together. It's a great fun thing for us to do, is go shopping together. And I always said, people would always say, well, isn't it oversaturated? I mean, aren't there a lot of other sellers in the store? My mom and I can walk in the same store, part ways, come out, and both have our shopping carts absolutely full when we're at the checkout. So I can go shopping with my mother. It's not a problem. We're going to find enough things in the store that it will, we'll both end up with, a big haul at the end of the day. So it's still a really good sourcing method. I have a really cool story that I think actually shows just what the power of in-store shopping is all about. Even when we're doing online shopping, one of the biggest challenges with online shopping is competition. I'm in Italy. I can find the same products that Brian can find in California, right? It doesn't matter. We are in the same realm because we're shopping online. I can source the same products from here that he can source in California, that someone else can source in New York, because we're buying online and we all see the same things at the same time if we're at the same store, right? The beauty of in-store shopping is that individual stores, even in large chains, individual stores have their own sales, individual stores have their own clearance, individual stores have their own products that they promote more and are available more. I bought some products at a Walmart in Tennessee, in rural Tennessee, that I doubt would even be available in Metro Denver. They were some kind of horse medicine, right? So even though it was the same store, there would be items in some stores that will be available and profitable that you won't even see in another store. And so one year we were in Washington State visiting my oldest daughter, and I was in Target and I found, I think it's called Baby Boss or Boss Baby, the Alec Baldwin animated movie. They had these little plushies from a Boss Baby, and they were on clearance for $4.99, originally $19.99 in the store. They were selling on Amazon for $49, 10 times what they were on clearance for. Now, I doubt I was going to find that item online for that price. It may be, but you just don't know. But I found them in store. I went to every Target I could find. I bought every one of them I could get. And I was kind of sad that I had bought them all out. But I was heading to Denver to visit my other daughter. And I was, I'm going to Denver. Now I'll be able to go buy those same dolls. I'll clear out Denver. When I got to Denver, those dolls were $19.99. They were not on clearance. Now, I could have made a small profit. They were kind of largish dolls, so it was going to be, some expense in the shipping and the Amazon fees. I could have made a small profit on those dolls, but nothing like the 20-something plus dollar profit I made on the ones from Washington State. So I was able to find something in the same store at a huge bargain in one state that wasn't available for that amount in another state. So that's one of the really great reasons to do some shopping in store, because you will find local sales and local bargains that aren't happening online.
And you're probably in the store anyway. I mean, we do go to stores.
You're in the store anyway. I always tell people, there's a lot of reasons to scan in stores. I mean, we all know that, we have some benefits when we're out doing things that, as far as like deducting mileage and stuff like that. If you're already driving to the store and you spend a few minutes scanning, you've done a little bit of, product sourcing while you're in that store. Let that, that's one benefit of doing it in every store you walk into. The other thing is you're already in the store. And there's no reason not to take advantage of that. One of my coaching clients was in a feed store, like a horse and chicken feed store. But they had this dog food that she always bought for her dog. And as she was going through the checkout, she saw these John Deere playing cards in the clearance bin at the checkout. $1 a deck of cards. They were also selling on Amazon for $19.99. She cleared out that clearance bin. And so don't go anywhere, in my mind, unless you're someone like me who's in Italy. I'm not going to be scanning stores in Italy to try to send to the U.S. So, and there are some people I know in our group and other online arbitrage sellers who just say, I don't want to deal with the shipping. I don't want to deal with doing that part of it. And I understand that some people either live in really small apartments or they don't have the ability to do a lot of shipping on their own. But I can tell you right now, you may be missing out on some really good profits if you're not willing to send a shipment every once in a while from your local location, rather than always relying on prep centers in order to be able to get those products to Amazon.
It gives us more flexibility in our business. We can adapt, take advantage of particular, like that surprise that you had with those, whatever that doll was called.
Yeah. Baby boss baby. I can't remember.
I have a similar story. Terry and I, we're in our motorhome right now. This is a mobile lifestyle, and we were attending a trade show in Anaheim, California, Southern California, and the next week attending a trade show in Las Vegas. And we stumbled into a Home Depot for something for our RV, and they had a weed eater battery, just a weed eater battery. But it was a $60, $70 on Amazon and $20 there at Home Depot on clearance. So we hit every single Home Depot that was on our route, which was about 20 of them, 25 of them between there and Las Vegas. We had over 200 batteries. There was about $4,000 in net profit in a day or two of hitting all those Home Depots. Of course, when we got to Las Vegas, we found the same thing that you found when you got to Denver. They weren't on clearance there in Las Vegas. It was just Southern California. So
Yeah,
by
and it's amazing.
you can expand your profits. You can expand your ability to take advantage of these opportunities when they arise by being willing to do a little more than maybe you've done in the past if you're just doing online arbitrage. So
Mhm.
take that time to learn how to do a shipment. It may serve you very, very well.
And the other group of people that it serves very well are people who are just getting started that have a really small inventory budget. If you have a smaller inventory budget and you absolutely need to have the best products, fastest selling, most profit in order to be able to get that money back and be able to reinvest it into your business, there are two reasons why in-store can help you. One is, again, you can find items that you might not find online. But secondly, if you are doing in-store shopping, you can get the items to Amazon much quicker than you can if you're doing online shopping. Whether you're doing the shipping or not, online shopping means that another vendor has to put it in a box and send it to you or your prep center. Then it has to be prepped and then put in another box and sent to Amazon. And that can frequently add a week or more, depending on the other seller, the vendor that you're finding the items from. That can easily add a week to the time it takes to get your products into the warehouse so that they can be sold. So for people who are trying to turn that money around quickly, in-store shopping is really a boost. I mean, I literally have had, when we were focusing primarily on Shop Your Way to Wealth at EBS, we would have people within the first 2 weeks of having signed up, were seeing sales on Amazon because they would do the training on a Wednesday, go out on Saturday and buy products, and by Monday they were on their way to Amazon, right? And so it's something that can really help to move your money faster if you're in a situation where you're trying to really boost your cash flow. So I also think that's really important for people who, want to get started quickly, want to see a sale very fast.
Mm-hmm.
In-store can do that for you.
So you're going to give us some tips this morning? Tips, tricks?
I am. I'm just gonna show you, people how it works and why it's so simple. I've only got one product here to show you because I know we have a lot going on today and I don't want to spend a lot of time, but I do have a product that I'm going to show you that how you would be able to evaluate it in the store and tell whether or not it's something that you would want to buy. Okay, hold on now. Of course, a minute ago this was looking just fine and now it doesn't seem to see my phone. Just a minute.
I see a question rolling in here from Christy, and we'll answer those questions after Danita does her training. So if you do have questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat box, and we'll answer them in a few minutes.
That's really funny. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb because I didn't in the middle of this want to see pop-ups, right? But on Do Not Disturb, apparently I cannot show my screen. So there you go. So we will take it off of Do Not Disturb.
There we go.
Don't get any pop-ups.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. So I'm in the Amazon Seller app. Just this is what the Amazon Seller app looks like right here. It's just a little price tag with an A on it. So I'm in the Amazon Seller app, and I'm going to emulate being in the store. Now in the store, I would press the little camera here, and it would try to find whatever I'm scanning. I would scan the barcode with it. Instead, I'm just going to put in a product that I've planned to show you today. So this is, it's cashews, and I think it's popcorn and cashew. It's cashew lovers, Orville Redenbacher poppycock, and it's basically just a popcorn snack. And everybody who knows me knows I love popcorn, right? So I'm always got my eyes out for popcorn snacks. So so I'm in the store and I see this on the shelf and it's maybe on sale, and so I decide I'm going to scan it and look at it, and it pops up And I see this here, and it tells me that this is a pack of 3, and it's 62,000 in rank in grocery, and it has 5-star reviews. It's good, you know, the reviews all look good. Amazon is not a seller. And again, if you don't know what all of these things mean, I really encourage you to look into our free training. But we're really talking about looking to see if this product can sell well on Amazon, and ultimately it will depend on what I can buy it for, right? So we're looking at this product, and it says that it's a pack of 3. And so I see them, and they're in my store, 3 for $6. So $2 a bag, basically. And so they're selling on Amazon for $22.22. And people say, Danita, if you can get them at your local store for $6 for these 3 bags, why on earth would anybody spend $22 on Amazon for this product? Well, there are a lot of reasons. Mine is not to question why.
That's right.
People are buying these, right? Mine is not to question why. And even if I didn't like popcorn, and if I really didn't like cashews, right, I wouldn't care. It doesn't matter if I like this product or not. This is all about whether or not it's going to sell well on Amazon for a profit. So I'm going to be looking at a number of things. The rank, and the rank is basically giving me an idea of how quickly this product will sell. The product reviews are telling me whether or not people like this product, and if they don't like it, I don't want to try to sell it because they might return it if they do buy it, right? What the low price is on Amazon, what the least amount is selling for on Amazon right now, how much fees Amazon is going to charge me, and then how much Amazon would send me if I sold this product. That's basically what this is all telling me. So I'm going to click on the gross product proceeds, and I'm going to come over to this screen, and I'm going to say that this is going to cost me $6. And it tells me that I would make a profit of $6.34. That's over 100% return on investment, by the way. Those of you who heard me do any of my training know that I'm the 100% gal. You know, I love getting that 100% return on investment. But as we were talking about earlier, how much I can get as a return on investment isn't as important in a lot of ways as how quickly I'm going to get this money, right? So I'm especially buying in stores, which allows me to get these sales quickly and get them turned back around. I want to see if I'm going to be able to sell this product quickly and if it will make me this kind of profit that I'm looking at. Now, the Amazon Seller app, you know, it gives us this basic information. It tells us what the low price is. It gives me an idea of how many other sellers I'm competing with, and ultimately what my proceeds are going to be if I buy the product, right? So I wonder why that didn't stick. Doesn't that usually stay in there? Oh, I don't know. It doesn't stay. I thought it used to just stay in there, and you could see then how much it would be here as well. They may have changed something on that. So I would be doing this in the store. I would just be finding items like those John Deere playing cards or those plushy toys that I found that were selling for 10 times on Amazon what they were selling for in the store. I'm really just looking for items that I can find at a great price and flip them onto Amazon for a profit. Now, this is how I learned how to do this, just using the Amazon Seller app, going into stores and taking some information that we had that was pretty static. How much is it selling for? What are the fees? How many sellers? As time has gone on, other third-party services, third-party suppliers have given us more details about things that are happening on Amazon. So I can also go over to another app. This app is called ScanEZ. This app is by a company called AZInsight. And for those of you on the call who have ever heard us talking about AZInsight, this app is from the same people who do AZInsight. So I'm going to come over here and I would do the same thing. I would click scan barcode. Instead, I've put the actual ASIN in. Oops. I put the ASIN in, so I want to search for that ASIN. And it's popping up the same item for me. Now over here on the Amazon seller app, it showed me what the rank is. And as I mentioned, that's where we think we can figure out how well an item sells, because it has to do with, rank has to do with how well an item is ranked amongst other items in the same category. So the lower the number, the better. So this item, if I were to look up on a little cheat sheet that I have, it would tell me it's in about the 2% rank, right? But I have to look it up. I can't tell that unless I just have a really great memory. I don't know what this rank is for grocery. I have to go look it up on another sheet when I'm in the store. AZInsight, however, their ScanEZ app does that for me. It tells me that it's in the top 2.29%, that they estimate it sells about 50 a month. And I always take that with a grain of salt, estimated sales. And then, interesting. I don't know why it's not coming up with the sales price on here. What did we see it was over here? It was $22.25. Nope. I'm trying to click and type it on my computer. That doesn't work. Oh.
You know why?
Okay, 22.25.
Danita, is it connected into... No, it couldn't be connected into Amazon Italy. It's showing 0 FBA offers. That's what's strange.
Yeah, it's weird. It is weird. I'm on. I wonder if it is because I'm on an Italian. That is odd. It's not getting all of the data, and it may be because I'm doing this from Italy. I don't know. I'll just put it in by hand then, so I know what it is. And so this also shows everything I was seeing before, and it says I would make about a $6.70 profit. Over here on the Amazon seller app, it says I would make $6.34. So they have slightly different. And I think I know what it is. And here I have shipping to Amazon $1 a pound, and I think on AZInsight I have it set to
50 cents a pound.
50 cents a pound.
Yes.
So I would have to go edit that to make sure they're both the same. But the nice thing about this is what it shows me is a little more information. It shows me how often we think the item is selling because the rank is changing. So this BSR drops is showing me that the item has about 43 BSR drops in 30 days. And what's really important for me, though, is to make sure that this price is reasonable. If it's selling for $22.25 right now, but it showed me that on average it's been selling for $18, I would be worried that it might not really be a price that I can sustain. The Amazon seller app doesn't let me know that. It doesn't know what the history on the item is. It doesn't know it won't show us the history on the sales, the history on the price, the history on the number of sellers, but this app will. So it can help me to narrow down exactly what I want to do with this product and whether or not I wish to purchase it. So we always start off with this app because it's free and it just comes with your Amazon seller account. But when you are ready to really start being able to tell exactly what's going on with that product in the store easily, we recommend that you move on to an app that will give you a little more detail. But I would be, walking through the store, just scanning every item I can get my hands on. If I'm there just to be sourcing products. If I'm there on a grocery trip, I might just find a corner and scan a few items and see what's going on. Maybe look at their sales items or the items they have in their little clearance aisle, if they have a clearance aisle. But if I'm actually in the store with the intent of finding products for sale, I will spend a couple of hours, maybe in one store, depending on how well that store is doing for me. and come out with 2 or 3 shopping carts dragging behind me if all goes according to plan, right? So it's a great way to get started. It's a great way to augment what you're already doing. And as Brian said, you're already in the store. Why aren't you doing some of this while you're there? So I hope that's helpful. That's really all I wanted to talk about, was the fact that you're leaving some money on the table, I think, if you're just just not interested in stores. And I know that it's harder work in some ways. You can shop online sitting in your pajamas, right? But it's harder work. You have to get dressed. You have to go out and see people. You have to mingle in the stores. But it's definitely a way to increase your sales and increase your profits on Amazon.
We have a question about that app. Are you able to bring it back up on your screen? ScanEZ. Sure. So for our members who are taking our training, they're in our eCommerce acceleration program, or they're our peak performance member, almost 100% of our members purchase the third-party service AZInsight for their online arbitrage sourcing. It speeds up the process so quickly. This tool here, ScanEZ, is free or included with AZInsight. So if you're already doing online arbitrage, you're following our training, you're using AZInsight, you have this tool, and it's so simple to install it to your phone. And it gives you all the same information that's in AZInsight for online arbitrage is here on this app. I think 100% of that information is on this. So Carolyn is asking, does it show if we're approved to sell?
Yes, it does. You do have to, let me go, see if I can get out of here. I'm stuck. Oh no, I'm stuck.
If you want to talk about the chart first, then you can, you're there now.
No, I'm back. It does show you whether or not you're restricted. There's a thing down here at the bottom that says restrictions, and also the variations and the stock checker. All of the same things here. It doesn't show you immediately on the screen like it does in AZInsight on your computer. You have to actually click on restrictions. And if you're not logged in, then you have to go log in to Seller Central. So I need to go log into Seller Central in order to be able to tell if I actually am, let's see.
Up, making you jump all through all the hoops.
That's fine.
So my beginnings.
So it's going to say I need to request approval for this item.
There you go.
So I will request approval for this item. Oh, it's going to make me log in again. Are you kidding me?
So you can find out if you're approved right there in the store before you buy the product.
You can find out if you're approved right in the store. You can go through the process of requesting approval right in the store. So it has me in Italian. That's interesting. And now I can sell this item and say, go ahead.
There
you can sell this item. So that might be what's going on with AZInsight, because my phone actually is in Italian, the language, and so it might be freaking AZInsight out, ScanEZ out when I'm trying to use it, because it doesn't know what language I've got going on.
Do you want to go to the history graph that you had there, the Zen graph?
Yeah, let me see if I can get out of here. It's stuck again. Just a second.
The Zen graph that Danita was showing a moment ago, that was that chart with all the green lines on it. That's a game changer. My roots on Amazon are selling used books, and I wouldn't know through the Amazon selling app or even the other apps that I was using at the time whether or not the price point for that book was typical. So I could be buying it when it was unusually high and not knowing that it wasn't going to sell, that the price was going to go back down. That's what Danita was talking about, why we want to check history. And here you can do it right on your phone. It's so simple. I think it's simple, isn't it, Danita?
Well, it is, except I keep getting stuck. Let me go see. Okay, let's try history. Let's try clicking this. There we go. Okay, so you can click on the graph. That's the graph right there. You click on the graph, and it will open up the graph for you and show you, if you're used to seeing these kinds of things through AZInsight, you'll know what this all means. It shows you what the buy box price has been historically, the number of sellers. Now the number of sellers is maybe a little high. I'm not sure exactly how many. There's 19 offers right now, but we're always talking about that the number of sellers is important, but the number of sellers that you're actually competing with is the most important part. There may be 19 sellers and only 4 of them are in the buy box range, right? So you have to kind of look at those kinds of things too. This should be able to show us that as well. If I can get out of here and show you down here, it shows you the stock checker. The stock checker is great because it also will show you all of the sellers and what prices they have. So here we have 22.25, 22.25. Then it jumps to 23.28. Then it jumps to, so there's only 2 at that price, which also means we might be able to get even a little more for this item as we start looking at it, because there's only 2 sellers at 22.25, and after that the price is higher. So currently we're probably only competing with those 2, but once they run out of stock, we'll be able to maybe even raise our price some. So depending on how patient we are, we might just price it at that higher price when we first send it in, so that we wait for these others to run out of stock, and then we can get that higher price. So these are things that allow you in the store to check the competition, to check how many are actually in stock, how many other sellers are near the buy box. So it's really very helpful. They also have in the history, let's see, where is it? Oops. When you're looking at the historical data down here, you can press on the word historical, and it shows you, for example, you can click on the buy box statistics and see in like the last 30 days, who has had the buy box, how often it's changing, what the buy box price has been, who is getting the buy box the most. So you know which sellers that you might be looking at as your prime competition.
And you can see from this chart right here, you can see that there's primarily just 3 sellers that are competing for the buy box. It was showing the 3 of them that were around 20-25% each. Yeah.
Now this guy has won it today. Just he slipped in there. He's won it today, and it also really shows you that you can see that the buy box changes quite a bit amongst the sellers. So that's also really good for people who are saying, but does the buy box really change? And it does. It depends on your price, on other factors, but like if you look at the percent one, you do see that there's really only 3 that are getting the bulk of the sales. Now some others are getting a little bit here and there, but these 3 are getting the bulk of the sales as they're being sold.
Danita, there's a couple other questions that are not arbitrage related. Would you like to answer a few other Amazon related questions? Okay.
Sure.
So
while we're here, we can answer other Amazon questions.
So this is about sourcing, and Christy Jacobs is asking about your opinion or suggestions for using a line of credit for purchasing items.
It all comes down to what you're paying for that line of credit, right? And whether or not it makes sense to add that into the equation. You have to take that into account. Now, if your line of credit if it works somewhat like a credit card where you can pay it back, since the line of credit is kind of flexible, if when you pay it back, you're only being having a very small amount of interest being charged, that can be useful. We buy everything on credit cards because we're buying things online or in stores. I'm always buying things on credit cards, but we're trying to pay them back every month if we can, to avoid any interest in that way. So a line of credit is really going to be useful if you can justify the additional interest you're having to pay. Lines of credits are frequently used when right around Q4, right? A lot of times people will actually buy items on credit because they know that they're looking at such a high return that it is important for them to have as much inventory in the warehouse as they possibly can. So it really just depends on, the math. You have to do the math.
And we don't recommend that our members, especially when they're new, go out and get credit, start buying on credit. We want them to learn the business so that when they see an opportunity and with reasonable certainty that it's going to pay off, then maybe you want to use some credit if it's going to be worthwhile for you. There's another question.
We definitely don't let our money run on a credit card. It's always paid off every month.
As a wise business person should. So if you, talking about line of credits and not going out and getting that when you're new, Wayne's asking, what's the smallest budget you can use to scale your business?
Well, like as I say, your results may vary, your mileage may vary. We have had people in our group, in fact, coaches. We have had coaches in our group who have started out with as little as $300 in inventory money. This was, though, done through in-store shopping because, one, you can find very good bargains that way, and you can roll it faster because you're getting the items to Amazon faster, right? So our coach, Leslie Hamilton, who has retired, she started with $300 in the same month I did, in June of 2014. And by the end of December, she had sold over $37,000 in sales on Amazon, beginning with a $300 investment, because every time Amazon sent her money, that all went back into inventory. So it's absolutely possible to do with a very small budget, but you have to be really smart about your purchases when you have a small budget. Everything has to be based on how well that money is working for you. We talk a lot about the difference between return on investment and profit margin. And when you have a really small budget, you're thinking about return on investment all the time. If I have $10, how much am I getting back, right? That $10 has to make me some money so that I could turn it back over and make more money. So for a small budget, you're looking at items that sell very quickly and have really high return on investment so that your money's working hard for you.
Great. Okay, well, I don't see any other questions here. Danita, I always enjoy hanging out with you, especially when you're training. You're just a joy to listen to and learn from. Okay.
It's a fun business, and that's one of the things that I like to point out too. Is for me, this is a fun business. It is hard work, but there's a lot of enjoyment in doing the work. So. And especially when you're in stores, it feels like a little bit of a scavenger hunt, and every day there's something new. So get out there and do a little bit of shopping.
Let's see, there's a comment from Tearfat who won. So congratulations, Tearfat. You're our Feed the Beast winner for today. She's saying the fun part of being a new seller is almost everything you scan is restricted, and those restricted items have good profit. Oh, okay. So very disappointing. You want to give her a couple of words of encouragement before we end, Danita?
Yeah, so I would definitely, we have a couple of categories that we recommend that you start off in because they're less likely to be restricted. And they're listed in our training, but I know them off the top of my head, so I can run through them really quickly for you. Sports and outdoors, baby clothing and other baby products, home and kitchen, pets, office supplies, and there's one more. There's six.
The arts and crafts.
I can't remember the sixth one. Arts and crafts. Those are the ones that are most likely to not have restrictions. And there will be some that pop up and are restricted. And it's like you saw what I showed you on on my phone. It said, "You're restricted." And then I clicked and it said, "Oh, you're fine." So you can sell this. So you want to make sure that you're always clicking that button. If you're told you're restricted, always ask, always ask, always ask. You can never ask too much. Every time you see that you're restricted, ask, and you will start to see that magical congratulations, you're approved. And but stick to the places where you're less likely to run into problems, and don't be looking at items that are more likely to be restricted.
You're going to find that this is what every new seller goes through, and we've all been there, so we understand what that's like. But I think it makes you a better product researcher, product sourcer, because you have to learn to look, let's say, beyond the most common brands. So if you go to the toy department and you're just looking at Lego and you say, I can't sell Lego. Well, if you look beyond it, there are plenty of brands that you can sell.
Mm-hmm.
Carolyn's saying, fabulous learning today. Excellent coaches. If you're not a member, I highly recommend reaching out to the school. Thanks again for incredible Saturday morning live. Thank you, Carolyn. Yeah, there's a lot of our members that feel that same way. Thank you. All right, so let's move on here. There we go. And again, like Carolyn is saying, if you'd like to learn more about e-commerce, selling on e-commerce, selling on Amazon, creating an automated e-commerce business, and join an incredible community, not only of coaches and trainers, but also of other members, super supportive members, I'd like you to go to joinebs.com and check us out there. This picture is from one of our not so recent live in-person workshops. Lately, because of COVID, we've been doing our workshops virtually, but we still have the same group of wonderful members, very, very supportive members. And we like to say that hustle and heart is what sets us apart here at eCommerce Business School. Again, this is from another workshop, but it's our members that really make us who we are. If you'd like to see some free training, hear about some of our members' success stories, go to joinebs.com. Up in the upper right here, you'll see some free training right there. And if you scroll down, you're going to see lots of success stories. So you can learn more about how you too can build a successful e-commerce business. Neil has said, thanks for the training, Danita. I have ScanEZ on my phone, but never knew it was such a powerful arbitrage tool. I'll definitely start using it more when shopping. Great, Neil. This is what we want to do, is enlighten people to what they have available to them. Danita, thanks again so much for being here all the way from Italy. And
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, if you want more of Danita, you know where to find her at eCommerce Business School. And we'll have Danita on it, as well as some of our other coaches again and again on Saturday Morning Live. So thanks everybody for attending. Really appreciate that you're here. Please share, like, and share us if you will. And we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.